The nets are on in vineyards around the country to shield ripening grapes from hungry birds. Today, producer Sally Round is taking us underneath some of those nets to meet Fang Mei, who's busy checking the fruit in her Martinborough vineyard.
You get it? Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, here's better. Here, you can see the color. It's turning red a little bit.
That's a special time of the season, isn't it? When the grapes turn colour.
Yeah, they're turning colour at the moment. Quite tight. And yeah, it's very healthy. So the only varieties here is Pinot. In total, it's 4 hectares, but only 2 hectares planted. We got another 1.5 hectares we're going to replant this year. It looks great.
Let's just talk a little bit about how you came to be involved in the wine world and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Yeah, it's a long story, actually, because I used to work for National Bank of New Zealand after I graduated from Massey University. Then I worked for another bank in China. After that, I feel I want something different. Because when I work for National Bank of New Zealand, every Friday afternoon, before we close our branch, we drink. So that's how I start to get to know wine at the beginning. And then I found I really love wine. And I went to a lot of wine regions in New Zealand. And I saw beautiful places and I saw nice people, And I thought maybe I can do something which is connect me, between China and New Zealand.
Mei liked the idea of being involved in one of New Zealand's primary industries. She fell in love with the Pinot Noir grape, met the right people, and found she had a bit of a knack at wine tasting competitions.
So I found, I have quite good taste for the wine.
You have a good palate.
Yeah, I think so. So I went to certificate study for the wine tasting, which is the WSET, which is the biggest wine education in the world. So I joined that course and I got level 4 advanced certificate.
Then another big step. 10 years ago, Mei made the decision to buy a vineyard in Martinborough, a Pinot Noir growing area in Wairarapa.
Yeah, it's a very different life compared to life I used to live in urban. So here is totally different and very, very quiet, very relaxed.
Do you get involved with any of the work in the vineyard?
Yes,
at all?
I do. Normally in harvest. So I will pick grapes and I used to do a little bit pruning, and I got my tractor somewhere, and I pick up grapes.
Mei is usually here to help at harvest time and works the rest of the time in Shanghai and Shenzhen, educating the Chinese market about New Zealand wine. Since 2014, she's been the agent for several organic and biodynamically grown brands from New Zealand.
At that time, Chinese doesn't really know wine. They don't really know much about white wine. They have no idea about varieties, and they think French wine is the most famous one. So they don't drink much, and so we did a lot of education for the market and to help people to know about New Zealand wine and Pinot, which is my favorite. And at that time, people doesn't know Pinot at all. So and after some years later, and people get used to know Burgundy Pinot, and they found, wow, it's so expensive. And then they come to New Zealand again, and they think New Zealand Pinot is very affordable, luxury. I think we get through the whole education curve.
The China market bucked the overall downward trend for New Zealand wine exports in 2024, growing in value by about 5% to $38 million. But our produce is up against Australian wine again. Now China's punitive tariffs on Aussie wine have been lifted. And there are other challenges too.
Tell me about the consumer of wine in China. What are they interested in, and how big a market do you think it is?
It's a big question. The total market, actually, the import value drops from 2018. 2018 is a peak. But now, 2024, they dropped nearly 60%.
Is that because of the COVID pandemic?
Not only, but also domestic one increased a lot. So it's booming now.
So they're producing their own wines?
Yes. Actually, Chinese made the wines from many years ago, very long time ago, but the quality is not very good. So we never saw much, high quality wines in the market. But after those 20 years, and we got a lot of young winemakers from overseas, and they came back to their hometown, and they set up their own small, wineries, and their quality is getting better and better. So, and the government really encourages domestic wine. So we got very intense competition from domestic wines at the moment.
So New Zealand wine is up against not only the re-burgeoning Australian wine, but also the local producers. Where are those local wines being made?
Ningxia is the most well-known place in the north of China, and they also got Xinjiang and Shandong, Shangri-La. Shangri-La is new wine region in China at the moment. I went there once and I tried some. Yeah, I think its quality is quite good, but they are still struggling about the balance of cost and the qualities.
What varieties are they planting?
Most of varieties are Cabernet Sauvignon, local varieties, Maselan, and they got some Chardonnay. Some growers is trying Syrah at the moment.
Mei is targeting younger customers with organic brands using influencers and bloggers on social media. The industry body New Zealand Wine Growers is also in on the trend, using New Zealand actor and vineyard owner Sam Neill to promote our wine in China via the social media platform Little Red Book.
What if you wanted to make the most unique wine? Something really special? Well, firstly, you find a verdant, fertile country with unblemished sunlight, pure fresh water, and just the right temperatures to grow fine, delicious grapes. You need special...
A lot of young drinkers, they got a lot of knowledge about wines because we did a lot for education in the market. And so they know varieties and they know some regions. They even traveled a lot. And the other part of consumers, they don't really care about the brands. Older consumers, they just get some wines cheaper. I would say the middle-class Chinese really focus on quality, and they are really, focus on natural things, and they love the natural wine and biodynamic wines. So,
where are they drinking wine? We've heard that the restaurant trade has really suffered due to COVID in China.
True, that's true. Not only in China, it's everywhere in the world. Actually, most of the restaurants got challenged, but we still have some fashion restaurant opening. We work with quite a few bistro, which is a new trend in China. Normally, people used to go to very traditional restaurants and they put a lot of dishes together. But bistro is new trend in mainland China. So we got a lot of young people who come from overseas and they set up those kind of thing and they sell wines with food together. It's not very big dishes, it's small and delicious.
Tell me about some of the people that are selling your wine, the so-called influencers on Little Red Book.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's new concept at the moment. And Little Red Book is like Google in China. We search everything there about lifestyles. If we want to go to travel or want to buy some food, or if we want to learn how to cook, if some people want to find some interesting wine, so we'll go to Little Red Book. And they got so many bloggers, and we just really look for it and to find the right one to promote our products. And we found quite a few, and we keep connect with them and send our products to them. And as long as they find your products interesting and they like it, and they are just become our wholesale. And they made the videos about your wine, and they talk about the wine. They educate people, their customers, their followers, and they teach young people how to drink the wine, how to taste, and the region, about the varieties, everything. And
I guess some of them have a huge audience, do they? What are the numbers like? How many people are they talking to?
I got one customer that got 500,000 followers, and but some only got maybe 50,000. But it really depends on their quality of their followers. Some bloggers really serious, really academic, and they got very high educated followers. And but some got lots of young people. They just want to try something cheap and interesting. Yeah, we try to explore this channel. So yeah,
it's the way to go in China when you're selling stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty useful, and it's new tools.
Fang Mei, New Zealand vineyard owner and wine agent in China, talking to producer Sally Round. With the help of one of her mentors, Larry McKenna, Mei now has her own wine label, Archana, named after one of the brightest stars in the sky, a star which can be seen in China as well as her vineyard here in New Zealand.